Hi, and welcome back to Free for All Friday. Focal Point AFR Talk, 888-589-8840. Talking about this woman that got shot because her boyfriend or roommate put a magazine from a semi-automatic pistol in the oven. It had 4 live rounds in it, and apparently the magazine had melted and the oven was heavily damaged. Well, I guess so. 4 rounds go off inside the oven. Pistol ammunition can ignite at temperatures as low as 290 degrees. Obviously, what's called for here, ladies and gentlemen, is oven control. We need new oven control laws. Ovens are a menace. Ovens kill people. Ovens shoot people. We got to ban ovens for the safety of the American people. You know, and gun control, this is where President Obama, Joe Biden, completely out of touch with the American people. There was an effort to ban guns in Minnesota. It got shot down in flames. And in Minnesota, every branch of the government is controlled by Democrats. They control the House. They control the Senate. The governor is a Democrat. They control all the levers of power in Minnesota. And they shot down this gun control ban as so fast it'd give you a nosebleed. And there's a memo from the Justice Department that surfaced from earlier in this year, and it's now surfaced. It got leaked to the public. It's from the Department of Justice. It is a memo from the National Institute of Justice, which is a subgroup within the Justice Department. And the memo said that these gun buybacks don't work, assault weapons bans don't work, and bans on large capacity magazines don't work. This is the Department of Justice itself. Here are a couple of excerpts. Fatalities from mass shootings, those with 4 or more victims in a particular place and time, account on average for 35 fatalities per year. Policies that address the larger firearm homicide issue will have a far greater impact even if they do not address the particular issues of mass shootings. Now here's on buyback. Buybacks, this is where you round up a lot of money from taxpayers and buy guns from people. Buybacks are ineffective unless massive and coupled with a ban. Goes on to say gun buybacks are ineffective. They're too small. The guns that are turned in are hardly ever going to be used in a crime because it's law-abiding people that turn them in, and it's easy to get replacement guns. So buybacks, they say, this is the Department of Justice. That's a waste of money, and it's a waste of time. Then on large capacity magazine restrictions, this is Department of Justice. The 1994 ban on large capacity magazines had limited effectiveness because, number one, large capacity clips are a durable good, means they last forever, and there's millions of them out there. 25 million guns with large capacity magazines existed in 1995. 25 million. So they're all over the place. Here's they refer to a 2004 study, quote, because the ban has not yet reduced the use of large capacity magazines in crime, we cannot clearly credit the ban with any, I repeat, any of the nation's recent drop in gun violence. So this is the Department of Justice. Their own internal memo got leaked to the public, so we know about it. Their own internal memo said the gun buybacks don't work, assault weapons bans don't work, and ban on large capacity magazines don't work. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Philip, Grants Pass, Oregon. Philip, you're on Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Well, here in Oregon, I work at a community college, and we were talking at my shop, and apparently the state of Oregon's high courts have ruled that if a student has a concealed weapons permit, they can carry it on campus. The college can't prevent staff members from carrying it due to the policy for working there, but they cannot stop a student from carrying a concealed weapon.
So that can be done then in the state of Oregon?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Now who issued that ruling?
I believe it was the Supreme Court for Oregon.
Right. Well, that's an interesting thing because, I went over the statistics from Colorado State University. I mean, sexual assaults on campus dropped by 90% when they could carry concealed. And now Colorado has just reversed that. So they've made women vulnerable again. Well, now they got to vomit on the guy's shoes to protect themselves.
And I would also like to state that if I read it right, the FBI statistics showed that last year more people were killed from hammers, bats, and other clubs than assault rifles, shotguns, or rifles combined.
Yeah, that is exactly right. I got the story right in here somewhere. Yeah, this is Breitbart. Twice as many murders with hands and feet as assault rifles. 2 times as many people killed with hands and feet, with fists and feet, than killed with assault rifles. Each year, more Americans are murdered using knives, fists, and feet and blunt instruments than assault weapons. So that's just 323 murders. Well, that's a lot. I mean, it's 323 too many, but 323 murders with assault rifles. But only 1/5 of the number of knife murders. So 5 times as many people get killed with knives, and twice as many get killed with fists or feet.
So if Obama wanted to generate some more taxes, he could make and pass an executive order where you have to be licensed to carry a hammer or golf clubs, pay a fee for it, and get a lot of money.
Yeah, you have to get licensed to keep your feet. If you don't get a license, we're going to cut off your feet because people get killed with feet every year. So, all right. Well, listen, Philip, I appreciate the call. Thank you very much for that. You know, in this business about the federal government loading up on ammo, I've got a piece here, investors.com, Investors Business Daily. This is a pretty sober publication. They're concerned about economics. And they've got a whole piece here by Andrew Malcolm. Why are the feds loading up on so much ammo? According to one estimate, Andrew Malcolm says, since last spring, DHS has stockpiled more than 1.6 billion bullets. We've talked about that. That's a familiar statistic to you because you've heard it here in this program. And everybody's down there, oh, this is wigged out. This is the far right. These are the conspiracy nuts. These are the wing nuts. Here's Investors Business Daily telling you now what we have been telling you for months, that the Department of Homeland Security has stockpiled 1.6 billion bullets. And he says that's enough firepower to shoot every American 5 times. To provide some perspective, he says, experts estimate that at the peak of the Iraq War, American troops were firing about 5.5 million rounds per month. At that rate, listen to this. At that rate, the Department of Homeland Security is now armed for a 24-year Iraq War. So you sit there and think, well, yeah, they got to have rounds because you got to be prepared, you know. But they've got enough firepower that if they were going to use it on American citizens at the same rate that our military is using ammunition in Iraq, they could be firing on the American people for 24 years. They've got enough ammo to shoot every one of us 5 times. This is the Department of Homeland Security. It is a bureaucracy. And they've got enough ammo to shoot us all 5 times. And you got Jesse Jackson out there. I mean, he's openly been calling for the Department of Homeland Security to patrol the streets of Chicago. So we are not that far away from federalized law enforcement patrolling our local streets. Let's go to Ricky in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Number to call, 888-589-8840. Ricky, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to comment real quick, the Second Amendment. And actually, Obama got his gun ban in the back door. You know why they buying all this ammo, Homeland Security, without tax dollars? Have you been to Walmart or any gun store lately?
Yeah.
All the handguns or military calibers are sold out. Your 223s, your Russian AK-47, your 9mm, your 38s. They're all sold out because all the gun manufacturers are making ammo for the government now, and they don't have enough for the civilians. That's why everything's sold out. So he got his gun ban because without ammo, your gun's worthless.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Real quick, one other thing. Do you really believe that the Democrats care about saving lives and using gun bans as excuse? Well, if that's the case, why are they killing 1 million babies every year? If you really believe that the Democrats care about the American public and want to save lives, then I got some prime real estate I want to sell you on the moon. They could care less about saving lives because they butcher 1 million babies a year.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rick. If they really cared about people, what are they doing protecting the practice of abortion?
Well,
and we've seen with this administration, Ricky, we've seen with regard to Benghazi, the cavalier attitude toward human life. I mean, Barack Obama gets word at 5 p.m. that his embassy or his consulate in Libya is under attack, that innocent Americans are under assault. And he I don't know what he does. He goes to bed, he watches the DVD, goes bowling, who knows? Nobody knows where he was, but the White House admitted did not make a single solitary phone call that entire night while that crisis was going on. And it was a crisis that lasted for 7 hours. You know, and it's often occurred to me, Rick, and I'll give you the last word. It's often occurred to me that for Barack Obama, people are not people. They are like avatars in a game of Sim City. It's like they're not real flesh and blood people. He doesn't seem to have any empathy for them. You know, he'll make a show of putting his arm around somebody, but then he makes empty promises to them that he never keeps and never intended to keep. And here are people that are having promises made to them by the President of the United States. They take it seriously. We're going to cut through the red tape at FEMA, for instance. Their homes are still a wreck. I saw a photo montage of all the homes and the condition that they're in. There's no red tape been cut there at all. Those homes are still in shambles. President Obama is long gone, and they're getting absolutely no help. So, you know, it's hard for me, Ricky, to believe that President Obama actually really has any care or compassion for human beings whatsoever. Last word.
The main reason why Obama wants to take away the Second Amendment, think of it. If he takes away the Second Amendment, he could take all other amendments away because we will not be able to protect any other amendments. The Second Amendment is the only amendment that protects all other amendments, including the Constitution. If you take that away, he could take the rest of the amendments away, and we'll be helpless because we can't fight back. We don't have no guns to shoot back with.
All right, Ricky, thank you for the call. And Ricky's exactly right. Again, here's the Thomas Jefferson quote. The strongest reason for people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny in government. That's Thomas Jefferson. That's the strongest reason for people to retain arms, is not for hunting, not for recreation, not for self-defense, but to protect themselves against tyranny in government. Those are the words of Thomas Jefferson. Focal Point, AFR Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.